welcome back to the Modern Fossil. We're going to look at the testimony of Furio Tigre. He's going to talk about the victim, Glenn Elk. Hurry up and finish up with your drink so you get this testimony now.
I ain't no liar. I never met Glenn Elk. There was some lame guy with that name, though, wanted to borrow cash from me. I set up a meeting with the guy at my office, Tinderlinda. I waited around for him, but he ain't never showed. I ain't never been to that tray behind joint, you see?
I see. That all seems perfectly logical. You had arranged to meet with the victim, but he didn't show up.
I've heard it's pretty hard to keep appointments when you're dead.
Very well. You may begin your cross-examination, Mr. Wright.
Yes, Your Honor. Didn't I tell you I got a big deal going down today? I ain't gonna make my bus now. I'm gonna have to take the express train, bucko. That bill's going straight to you, righty?
I'm gonna ask you. What do you want me to do? I'm not pressing anything. You're just telling me what I'm doing.
Okay.
So, I'm gonna go through the statements.
Time I nail this guy.
Yeah. I ain't no liar, I never met Glenn Elk. There was some lame guy with that name, though. He wanted to borrow some cash from me. I set up a meeting with the guy at my office, Tinderlinda. I waited around for him, but he never showed. I'd never been to Trey Beyond, you hear?
Okay, let's go to the evidence.
Okay. This is him, this is the victim, writing down MC Bomber and what he wants.
Yes.
Magazine clipping, this just shows that, you know, Phoenix Wright died. Don't care about that, don't care about that. The scooter was ridden by Furio Tigre and it's all smashed up because of the car accident with Viola kidnapped meaning. Jean's loan contract, he's, you don't care about that, don't care about that. Don't care about that. Glenn died from between 1:30 and 2:30 from potassium cyanide. That's what the crime scene looks like. Don't care. Don't care. Actually, do care because it's the victim has a winning ticket for $500,000. Don't care. Potassium cyanide has Mack's fingerprints that was found in the apron. Don't care. On the 3rd, it says that there's a note that's saying that Glenn Egg was going to meet the tiger. This was a paper badge found at Tinderlinda. MC Bomber was the computer virus made by Glenn Elk. It is worth millions of dollars. So, very important. Viola's medical papers. She had a $1 million bill for cranial surgery, and the payment was due last year, so it hasn't been paid yet. Trey Beyond's matches. This was found at Tinderlinda.
Never been to Trey Beyond? Yet, the matches from Trey Beyond were at the Tinderlinda, huh?
Yes. Good job. That's fine, but again.
Mr. Tigre, is there something you'd like to tell the court about these matches?
I can't even be dramatic.
Matches? What are you talking about? We found them in your office at Tinderlinda. They're from that restaurant? What? You've really never been to Trey Beyond before. What would the book of restaurant matches doing on your desk? You been snooping around my stuff too, wise guy? What are you, my ball and chain? Ain't no broad controlling me.
Order, well, witness. I think it's time you started telling us the truth, don't you?
Hey!
Sorry, tell me, sorry, forgive me.
I ain't no pussy, cat. I don't go back on what I said. But okay, I was at that joint that day, alright, sue me. What? But listen good, alright? Listen good, I might have been there, but I still never met that kid.
Well. Looks like an order just came in for another testimony. Extra sugar.
I'm this close to proving it was him. He did meet Glenn Elk that day. And he did put poison in his coffee. He must have. I was supposed to meet with the kid at the restaurant that afternoon. When I opened the door to the joint, I saw one ugly scene. The guy was laid out over the table, stiff as concrete. I figured if the place wasn't hot already, it was gonna be, so I split. I heard the cop sirens on my way out, and I went straight back to my office.
Just let me hit this joint real quick.
I see. You didn't actually meet with him in the end, then? Well, Mr. Wright, your cross-examination, please.
Yes, Your Honor.
Hold it! If I wait around here any longer, I ain't gonna make the normal express. No more stupid questions.
Huh. No problem. Anytime Troy presses...
What is going on?
Anytime Troy presses you on something irrelevant, I'll see that he pays a penalty. And I hope that Siri shuts the fuck up.
Mr. Kodo, that's my job.
Your job is to slam that little hammer of yours and call a guilty verdict. So do it!
Yes, sir!
The special express ain't cheap, right? Just so yous know since you's paying.
Oh, man. Doesn't the rule of law mean anything around here?
I'm gonna have to buy a private jet by the time this testimony ends. I was supposed to meet with the kid at the restaurant. Oh, by the way, what do you want me to do? I was supposed to meet with the kid at the restaurant that afternoon. When I opened the door to the joint, I saw one ugly scene. The guy was laid out over the table stiff as concrete. I figured the place was going to be hot already, so I figured if the place wasn't going to be hot already, it was going to be, so I split. I heard the cop sirens on my way out, and I went straight back to my office.
So... I heard the cop sirens on the way out.
Yeah.
What? So, what time? Does he state what time he showed up?
If he showed up, like... No, he didn't say what time. But if he did show up, like... Whenever, like, Victor Kudo went over to get the police, it's still, you know, he still would have heard the sirens.
Okay.
If his story is true, that he went in, he immediately saw Glenn Elk on the table, and then he bolted out. Okay, so, yeah. How does the floor plans look like?
Walked in, saw him laid out over the table.
Yeah, immediately saw him.
Immediately?
Yeah. It was
That's
like
impossible.
Why is that?
Because the door opens right there and there's like barrier. You can't see on the other side.
Attention! Oh my god, did you get it right?
You're something of a loan collecting pro, aren't you, Mr. Tigray?
No one escapes the tiger's clutches.
Well, I'm something of a lie detecting pro. And no one escapes the Phoenix's clutches. I think it's time we got something straight.
What's this, Chite? New line of irrelevant questioning.
These are the floor plans of the crime scene. You say you were standing at the entrance, Mr. Tigray. From there, your field of vision would have covered an area something like this.
Indeed, the witness would have had a clear view of the victim's seat.
Isn't that what I just said? I saw the back of the kid's head.
Unfortunately for you, that is not possible. If the court would think back, you'll remember that between each of the tables is a tall partition.
Why? That's true.
Now look at the plans again. The truth is painfully obvious. From the entrance, the field of vision of any customer walking in ends here. So from the entrance of Trey Beyond, you couldn't have seen the victim's seat. But you did see the victim that day because you met with him?
Objection.
Wrong. If you've forgotten the old man's testimony yesterday. The victim was alone at his table.
But the defense just proved the point to be mute. The victim witnessed by Mr. Kudo was not Glenelg, but a fake.
What?
In order to have Mr. Kudo falsely testify, the real killer posed as the victim he had just killed and acted out a charade.
Right.
That will do. This trial has gone on long enough without the obvious question being answered. Who exactly was this real killer who impersonated the victim? You say the killer murdered Glenelg and then impersonated his victim in a performance for Victor Kudo. In that case, Mr. Wright, reveal the identity of the criminal to the court.
Furio Tigre. Obviously, the killer is Furio Tigre! No one else could have done it!
What? Well, witness?
Now that's cute. You think you can pin this on the tiger? Maybe you don't understand. The tiger is in the jungle. So I dare you to say it again. Come on, you got the guts.
You can't threaten.
You can't threaten Mr. Tigre. It's the defense. Go ahead and tell the witness, Mr. Wright. Mr. Wright!
Sounds to me like it must be you, man. You got guts, I'll give you that.
Mr. Wright, don't leave me to handle this alone!
Perhaps I can end this embarrassment.
Mr. Kudo?
Let's just go back over Mr. Kudo's testimony one more time. The old man didn't just see the victim. Oh, no.
Some girl brought him a Jamachino, but she put something in it. There's no question about it. She very conspicuously put some white powder in there.
Was the victim he saw the real victim or not? That doesn't matter. The fact remains he saw the accused put the poison in the coffee.
Yes, it was the waitress who poisoned the coffee.
Very impressive, Mr. Kudo. Waiting for my absence to launch your attack.
Found your pen at last, Trite.
It was in my pocket. But anyway, Mr. Kudo witnessed two people that day. He saw the victim, the supposed Mr. Glenelg, and the waitress from behind.
Yes, your point, Mr. Wright.
I think the conclusion is obvious. If this Glenelg was really the killer in disguise, then surely it's possible the waitress was also part of the show.
What? You mean the waitress was an imposter as well?
The defendant, Miss Bird, fell unconscious immediately after the incident. And someone used her fainting to hatch an elaborate plan to pin the murder on her.
Who on earth was it? Who was this waitress that Mr. Kudo witnessed?
It's Violetta Cadaverini.
Who is this woman?
Her name is Viola Cadaverini. She's an employee of Tender Linder.
You was making a big mistake. You know who Violetta's grandfather is? Better be going home in an armored truck tonight, if you know what I mean.
Stop shaking, Nick! Stop shaking!
Fucking shaking. I'm fucking shaded. Wait. Where was I? Yes, the defendant, Miss Bird, has stated the following.
Well, when I took the coffee over to the victim's table, it's true that there was another customer in the restaurant. She was sort of creepy, and she had a kind of cackling laugh.
There's too many contradictions in this case. The second man at the victim's table, who nobody but Miss Bird seems to have seen. The earpiece worn by the victim in his left ear when that eardrum was ruptured. And the radio show he was supposedly listening to half an hour after it was over. There's only one logical explanation that clears up all of these contradictions. The whole incident took place twice. Once for real, and once for show. And Mr. Furio Tigre, the only person who could have committed the crime is you.
Witness? What have you got to say?
That's cute.
Sorry?
Who's alright? I could do with a guy like you around. What do you mean? Okay, I'm in on this game. I'm gonna have to charter a jet to get me to my meeting now.
I was joking, but like
I'm gonna give you one more thing to think about before I go. Something to think about? You've got it all wrapped up nice, huh, right? But you've missed out on one real important thing. But that can't be. I was in the joint that day, and I met that kid too. But I couldn't have poisoned him. You see?
What? You really expect us to believe you know, Mr. Tigre?
Huh. What a troublemaker.
Troublemaker?
Looks like we're going to need another one from the road. One more steaming cup of hot testimony.
Indeed. Witness, will you explain yourself to the court? I will give you one more chance to testify. What happened that day at Tribulations between yourself and the victim?
Yeah, I loaned out cash, about $100,000. That day, we was due to have a little chat. We was due to have a little chat, actually, not just he, we. A chat is a mutual discussion.
I don't want to lie, by the way.
Yeah, I'm not a liar.
Yeah, no, I don't want to commit perjury.
The kid had hit his paycheck. Damn it. I'm sorry, guys, I'm on cocaine. The kid had hit his payback date, see? Anyway, he tells me he's got no way to pay up. Fuck me. I'm ready to flatten that guy. When he starts screaming, yes, I won $500,000. He got lucky, you know, real lucky. If that waitress hadn't done what she'd done, everything would have been over.
Now I see that the principal amount you loaned to Mr. L was $50,000.
Yeah, well, you just got the vig to take into account. Interest builds up fast, you know. That's faster than fast. $100,000 is twice his principal.
And the repayment deadline was December 3rd, the day of the incident in question.
Yeah, he was one lucky kid. He got that $500,000 just in time. So I ain't have no reason to kill the kid. And if I ain't got no motive, you ain't got no case. His motive? He has to have one, but when is it?
Yeah, I loaned El Cash about $100,000. That day he was due to have a little chat. We were due to have a little chat. So
okay,
I'm on cocaine.
We did the same thing. Yeah, it's hard.
It's hard doing this stuff, you know? The kid had hit his payback date, see? So anyway, he tells me he's got no way to pay up. I'm about to flatten the guy when he starts screaming. Yes, I won $500,000. He got lucky, you know, real lucky. If the witches had done what she'd done, everything would have been over.
Is there anyone else in the restaurant at that time? I don't remember. If there was no one there, I'll wear that ridiculous tiger shirt for a month. Mr. Armstrong, Maggie, and if I'm right, Viola Cadaverini were all there at that time.
So the victim had intended to repay you from his lottery winnings from the beginning?
Seems that way to me.
But you wouldn't normally expect to win the lottery, would you?
Undying belief that your next roll will end the worst losing streak you ever had. That's what defines a true gambler.
He makes it sound so cool.
Don't be tempted, Nick. You haven't got the willpower for it.
All I know is the kid took a shot and he got lucky in the end.
witches have done what she's done. Everything would be okay. But with this,
The waitress, you mean... The girl with the glasses in the defendant's chair. Who else could I mean?
If she hadn't got in the way, things would have been fat out, big, burn, boom, over and done with.
Maybe I should push a little on this. Ask how things would have been.
if Maggie didn't do what she did.
What do you mean things would have been over and done with?
Are you on there? What? I'm talking about the cash. I was here to get my $100,000 back. That's all. I'm a businessman.
It was all coming together before that waitress got in the way.
As far as I can tell from the witness's testimony, other than recouping his loan, Mr. Tigre had no motive for killing the victim. Witness, you will amend your testimony to reflect what you just said.
Tiger's motive, huh?
I was after the $100,000. I didn't have no other reason to kill the guy.
Okay, so what was his motive?
Well, his motive was he wasn't gonna pay him, but that's not what he's saying. He's saying that he won the lottery.
Yeah, he won the lottery. He got the money. He got the $500,000.
So what other reason would he have to kill Glen Elg?
Yeah.
Okay, here's what I'm thinking.
Okay.
He is in debt to the Cadaverini family.
Yeah, over $1 million.
Right. So his motive could simply be he's in debt, and for whatever reason, Viola Cadaverini wants Glen Elg dead, so he knowingly knew that she was gonna poison him, but he just had to go along with it.
Why would Viola Cadaverini want Glen Elg dead?
So I'm trying to remember. Let's go to the evidence. I'm trying to remember. I feel like there was some sort of...
So, Glen Elg goes there with this paper. He says, he got MC Bomber, this virus, okay? And he says, okay, I'm gonna give you $100K for it, alright? Then, he wins the lottery for $500,000. So he's no longer in the red, you know? Because he was in debt for $100K.
Right. And then he's like, I don't even need to give this up now.
Yeah.
I can keep this for myself, but they want it. So like, fuck you, we'll kill it, and we'll kill you and take it.
Well, the rest of that, because Furio Tigre only needs that $100K for him. So, once Glen Elg wins that amount of money, you could just give him the $100K and then that would be it.
Right, no bartering, just pure cash payment.
Yeah.
But it's worth millions. It's worth far more than $100,000. So that's the motivation is he wants more than he's greedy. He wants more than $100K. He wants millions, dude.
Okay, so Furio Tigre takes the disc, which is worth $100K, and then what does he do?
Well, Furio Tigre.
Yeah, he takes it because they're there to like.
Right, and then he wins. Okay. And then Glen Elg's probably like, I'll take that back.
If the lottery never happened, okay.
Right.
Glen Elg gives him the disc, okay, and Furio Tigre takes it, and what does he do?
Gives it to Viola.
No.
He would keep it for himself. He'd leave. I don't know. What would he do? He takes it and does what?
You're so close. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So you said that Furio Tigre is $1 million in debt. Okay.
Sorry. He would give it to Armstrong?
Why would he give it to
No. Armstrong's in debt to them. No, hold on. Okay, yeah. He gives him it.
Tigre's the big boss right now.
Right, yeah.
And the boss of him is the Cadaverinis.
And he owes the Cadaverinis
$1 million, yes.
So he would give them the virus, is what I'm saying. He'd be like, oh my god, this is my ticket out of this debt. And then he would give it to fucking Viola. Or to whoever. Bruto.
I'll give it to you.
Okay.
It's very close. It's like very, very close.
So you just intended to get back the $100,000 Mr. Elg owed you, correct?
I loan the guy the cash, so that's my right.
Unfortunately for Mr. Elg, I don't believe the $100,000 is what you were really after.
Objection!
What are you getting at, Chite? Else what a moneylender would be after other than money?
Oh, the moneylender was after money. But money in a totally different league. The kind of money that a single disc like this would fetch.
What is that?
A computer virus, Your Honor. A virus called MC Bomber.
A computer virus? What does one of those do?
A computer virus is a program that wreaks havoc on the insides of a computer.
Computer? What does one of those do?
I guess the beard isn't the only part of His Honor that is from the Stone Age. I'll explain it to you later, Your Honor. Right now, this is an important point. A virus like MC Bomber would be worth several $1 million on the black market.
Several $1 million?
Lending money with no hope of ever seeing repayment would normally be bad for business. But in this case, the very fact that Glen Elg had no way to repay the money is crucial.
What?
Glen Elg was a programmer, a highly skilled programmer. That skill was the collateral Mr. Elg put up in order to borrow the money.
Objection!
You're trying to suggest the witness's motive was to get the hold of that program.
Exactly.
The witness may have poor fashion sense, but he is by no means an idiot, Chite. A man like him could get his hands on $1 million without resorting to murder.
Of course he could, provided that he had time. But what if he had needed the money right then? When the pressure's on, the luxury of choice tends to disappear.
It seems you have a logical conclusion for this theory, Mr. Wright. Would you care to share it with us? Why did Mr. Tigre need money to the tune of $1 million because he owed the Cadaverini family?
In December of last year, you found yourself in need of a huge amount of money. About 6 months ago, you were involved in a traffic accident, weren't you? An accident involving a car and a scooter, in which a young woman was injured. She was taken to the hospital where she underwent surgery.
How much of this do you know?
These medical papers documented the treatment of the young woman in question. According to these, her operation cost $1 million. And yet, when the payment was due last month, you somehow managed to pay it in full.
$1 million? Preposterous sum! Someone should sue these HMOs.
No one would pay a bill like that. The medical association got wind of it. The hospital will end up as dead as a morgue.
But Mr. Tigre had no choice but to pay, because his very life depended on it!
Order! You say his life depended on it, Mr. Wright?
Indeed it did, simply because the injured woman was none other than Viola Cadaverini!
Did you say Cadaverini?
Bruto Cadaverini, mob boss in charge of all underworld activities in the city, and doting grandfather to his precious Violetta, also known as Viola Cadaverini. Your life was in danger unless you paid compensation to the boss, correct? It makes sense! You were desperate to acquire the $1 million Bruto Cadaverini demanded of you! So desperate, in fact, that you decided to sacrifice Glen Elg's life to pay your debt! On the day of the murder, Mr. Tigre's sole intention was to get his hands on this CD. Glen Elg had no way of paying back the $100,000, and Mr. Tigre knew it. But then a miracle happened. The kind that Mr. Tigray would prefer to say never happened, but he can't, and neither can I.
Lottery win.
Exactly. At the 11th hour, Mr. L won $500,000 on the lottery, which left Mr. Tigray with no way of getting his hands on the all-important CD. At least no legitimate way. So he resorted to illegitimate means.
It's crazy.
He murdered Glenn Elg and then made his next move to frame Maggie Bird for the crime. Mr. Tigray posed as Glenn Elg, while Viola Cadaverini played the role of Miss Bird. And then they reenacted the whole thing in order to establish a witness. The witness being the one we all heard testify yesterday, Mr. Victor Kudo.
Like I said, Trite, that's crazy. No one could pull off a stunt like that. For starters, there's no way the chef could have been kept in the dark about it.
But Mr. Armstrong was in on it from the very beginning. Have you forgotten already, Mr. Godo? Mr. Armstrong owed the witness money too. $500,000, in fact. He had no choice but to go along with Mr. Tigray's plan.
Order, order. Silence! What the hell?
You put on a good show, Spiky. If you want to stay alive in a loan shark business, you gotta be careful.
You saying I dressed up like that kid, created a witness, and framed someone?
If I did something crazy like that, I'd leave a trail as bright as my shirt. I ain't dumb enough to do something sloppy like that.
I agree.
You know?
Despite your appearance, you are very careful. That's why you took one more precaution. One more trick to make sure Miss Bird had no way out.
What? Another one? Mr. Wright.
Interesting. Don't you feel us all in, Trite?
Don't mind if I...
What was this trick you say Mr. Tigray performed in order to frame the accused? The last nail in the coffin that David Tigray did in order to get Maggie Bird declared guilty.
The apron. Wait, ooh, no, not the apron. No, her fingerprints. Her fingerprints were on the freaking thing.
This is afterwards. After the crime has been committed. After everything has happened. What did he do afterwards?
Oh, well, he posed as Phoenix Wright. Yes, right.
What on earth is that? What an insult to think anyone can be fooled by such a childish imitation.
Consider yourself insulted, Your Honor. Mr. Tigray, you didn't just pose as a victim on the day in question. A month ago in this very court, you posed as me!
What? That's
the truth.
But the witness looks nothing like you, Mr. Wright. Although, now that I think about it, it was you, wasn't it? No doubt it was you, standing in here, this very court, a mere month ago. The Phoenix Wright who put up the most disreputable, shabby defense I had ever seen!
Did you prove that, Gramps? Prove the attorney who represented the accused here was a month ago was this man? Are you prepared to take the stand and testify that it was him?
Hey, forget about it, yeah? I wouldn't do something like that. No, me. You made a mistake, right? It was someone else, huh?
Have you no pride, sir?
This isn't a matter of pride. In case you didn't know, right here in court, we deal with people's lives.
Yeah.
Mr. Godot is right.
Your Honor?
Speaking for myself, I am absolutely convinced. The attorney in question was the witness standing before me now. However, I preside over this court as the judge, with the vested power to hand down a verdict. Someone in my position cannot be swayed by a memory without evidence to support it.
No!
If the defense has no further evidence, the court will now excuse the witness. The circumstances surrounding Mr. Tigre are dubious for sure, but not conclusive.
But we've come so far! You say he impersonated Glenelg. You say he impersonated you. But none of that adds up to a murder charge. You don't have a shred of evidence that the witness poisoned the victim's coffee.
No!
Sucks to be you, right? Don't mess with the tiger, or you're gonna get more. You just got it.
All he managed to do here was chase him around a bit. But I was so close to getting him to admit his own guilt.
Looks like I won't be needing a refill.
If I just had one more piece of evidence. One more piece of evidence and maybe I could get Maggie off the hook.
This is you.
This witness's cross-examination is over. You are free to go, Mr. Tigre.
Yep, I know.
I know who it is.
Your Honor, sir! Wait!
Detective?
Detective Gumshoe! Sorry I took so long, pal. I staked everything on this. My badge, the works. So here it is. My heart's counting on this too.
What is it, detective?
Isn't it obvious, pal? And it's the final, decisive, everybody with me, piece of evidence!
What?
Sorry it took so long, pal, but I finally got the results from the lab. The results! About the prints, pal, from this medicine bottle.
Oh, so do you know who the prints belong to now?
Think I'm some kind of hack detective? Of course I know!
So tell us. They're the Tigers, right? I knew it!
You bet. Clear as crystal all over the bottle. Ethereal Tigre's paw prints, all right.
That's great! We've got it now, Nick! What's wrong with you? You've hardly said a word since Detective Gumshoe got here. He's laid everything on the line for this, Nick.
I know. Look, I'm sorry. It's kind of hard to say, but it really doesn't make any difference whose prints are on that bottle now. Huh? What? Why not? All we need to produce at the stage in the trial is irrefutable evidence that the tiger put poison in Glenelg's coffee. He's already admitted that he met the victim. The fact that his prints are on this bottle, it really doesn't make any difference now.
I knew it.
Great. No matter how hard I try, I've never been of use.
Hey, don't be so hard on yourself.
This was our last chance to help Maggie. And I've been working on some useless piece of evidence the whole time. It's alright. I'm a real loser. It's not breaking news to me, pal.
Detective Gumshoe? Maggie! You've been working on something for me?
Sorry I let you down, Maggie. You know you didn't do it. and I'm a detective. We're supposed to be able to prove stuff like that. I'm really sorry.
Mr. Gumshoe, wait!
He's gone.
Isn't there anything we can do now, Nick?
I wish there was. Gumshoe worked so hard to get that evidence. If only there was some way I could use it.
Small bottle, the victim's ear medicine, covered in Furio Tigre's fingerprints.
I'm gonna have to do a 600 IQ play, okay?
Okay.
Mr. Wright!
Yes, Your Honor.
I granted you a recess so you could prepare this decisive evidence you've discovered.
Yes.
Don't keep us all in suspense, Chite. Show us. Naturally, we can assume it's evidence that will actually stand up in court, can't we?
Think, Phoenix. Don't let Gumshoe's hard work go to waste.
Much more of my time used to waste. I ain't been to no court before. Those lawyers sure know how to blow things out of proportion.
No doubt, given the nature of the evidence, it will speak for itself. Nevertheless, you will talk us through it, Mr. Wright.
Well, I know I can't prove anything new with this evidence. I'm really backed into a corner here. Maybe if he thinks he got me beat, he'll let his guard down a bit.
Don't keep us waiting any longer, Mr. Wright. Present this final decisive piece of evidence to the court.
I mean, I guess we have to present the bottle, right? It's not enough, though. This is the defense's final piece of evidence.
Isn't that the victim's?
Your Honor, naturally, the court is already aware of the contents of this bottle. However, interesting new information has come to light. We have clearly identified some fingerprints on it. Fingerprints belonging to you, Mr. Tigre.
What? What, Mr. Wright? What conclusion are you hoping to draw from this new information?
Everyone in here knows what this bottle contains. Except one man. One person in this courtroom should theoretically be in the dark.
My prints on that funky-looking bottle? Is that what you say? What the hell's in it anyway?
Phony trial, a phony lawyer, and phony clues. Everything about this case has been phony. Phony, phony, phony. Seems like the perfect excuse for some phony evidence. Mr. Tigre, this is the decisive piece of evidence that will prove your guilt. Why? Because it contains
potassium cyanide.
potassium cyanide.
Good job.
Potassium cyanide?
The poison used to murder Mr. Elg, Your Honor. The victim's killer used this very bottle. And on this bottle, Mr. Tigre, we found your fingerprints. Well, how do you explain that?
You make a good clown, you know that?
What?
Yous ain't never gonna get this to stick.
You's just making me laugh now.
You think a cheap bluff like that's gonna fool a tiger?
A bluff? I can see straight through you, Phoenix, right?
That ain't the bottle with the cyanide in it.
No, this is the bottle we found traces of the poison in.
Don't mess with the tiger, or you're gonna get ripped to shreds.
The cyanide bottle was brown, and it was made of glass. That cheap piece of trash don't look nothing like it. Got him. At last.
Well, what? Why's everyone gone quiet? I said that bottle
is the bottle you're referring to. Is this the bottle you're referring to? Yeah, that's it. That's the bottle the cyanide was in. But you ain't gonna find my prints on that bottle. Don't let that cozy looking suit fool you, people. That lawyer's just playing games. Tell him, Mr. Prosecutor. Tell that guy where to go.
You still haven't figured it out. Don't you realize what you just said?
What I said? What did I just say? You were summoned to this court for the first time earlier today. If you really had nothing to do with the murder, you shouldn't have known all the little details. For instance, you shouldn't have known what kind of bottle the potassium cyanide was in. Just now, you slipped up in front of every single person in this courtroom. You described the exact bottle used by the killer to hold the poison.
Just don't know what you was messing with. I'm Tiger. I control millions of dollars in the black market.
You think I'm gonna let some jumped up soup get the better of me? Sure. The last piece of evidence was phony. But that's just what you deserve. A phony trial with a phony lawyer. It was all played out by you. The biggest phony of all!
What's going on?
It looks like a blackout! Well done, Trite. I saved my 17th cup of coffee just for you. Savor it. While you watch the police restrain your prey.
Mr. Wright, you caught a tiger by his toe, but if this one hollers, he won't be let go. Now then, how are things going, Mr. Tigray, Mr. Godo?
He's being arrested on suspicion of the murder of Glen Elg, Your Honor.
Unfortunately for us.
Fortunately for us?
I mean, fortunately, unfortunately for us, we managed to rectify a very grave error. Miss Bird was found guilty in the absence of a genuine defense lawyer. Attorney, what the fuck?
Yes, she was.
In the absence of genuine evidence. But the tiger made one mistake.
Indeed! He very nearly got away with everything if it wasn't for that one slip of the tongue. Vario Tigray is a truly frightening criminal.
A truly frightening one? Is that defense attorney over there?
Godo.
Well, I am now in a position to deliver my verdict. This court finds the defendant Maggie Bird not guilty. That is all. This court is adjourned.
Good job, Mack. Mr. Wright, I'm at a loss for words. Thank you, sir.
Congratulations, Maggie.
I was so mad when Mr. Wright landed me in all that trouble a month ago. Now I feel like I can forgive him.
Hey, that wasn't me, Maggie. That was the tiger.
Look, Nick! In the doorway!
Detective Gumshoe. Oh, guess I'll be heading out then. See you around, Pill. Wait!
Detective Gumshoe.
Uh-oh, yeah, congratulations, Maggie.
Thanks.
I knew you were innocent all along.
Why didn't you say that in your testimony then?
Huh? Oh, yeah. Oh, well, I was... well, so I'll be heading off then. See you around! Wait up! Detective! Just ran off.
Maggie, why are you being so hard on him? He busted his butt for you. He's busted his ass for you. It's thanks to him that we got the medication bottle. That wasn't even of any use. But it's only because Mr. Wright used it so cleverly. Detective Gumshoe was just running around in circles.
Poor guy. Looks like she still isn't ready to forgive him.
Can't you put in a good word for him, Nick?
Yeah, Maya's right. I should help Gumshoe out. It's clear he needs it. Maggie. You know, Detective Gumshoe's been really worried about you through all of this.
I wanted to believe that, sir. But on that first day of the trial, he practically gave the judge a free pass to lock me up.
He didn't have any choice, Maggie. He's a detective. He has to report the facts.
He doubted me, that's why. He thought I might have done it.
Gotta prove to her that Gumshoe really cares about her. The weenies!
Yeah!
Here you are. A present to celebrate your freedom. Day-old warm weenie.
Yeah! That's...
a present from Detective Gumshoe. Made with a ton of love.
It was been stuffed in my pocket this entire trial. It's very sweaty. He said he lost weight and he was worried about you. Detective Gumshoe? I actually really like weenies. You know.
Was that a fart?
Did you guys hear that?
Was that a fart?
I'm practically hungry myself, you know.
Yeah, the trial dragged on a bit today, didn't it?
Is it okay if I eat this now?
Eat the whole fucking thing, Maggie.
So, how's it, Maggie?
Best weenie I've ever had in my mouth.
Really good.
So the case of phony versus genuine comes to an end. The false allegations surrounding Maggie have all been cleared up. And who knows? Maybe a whole new chapter of her life is about to start.
How does she eat all that rice with that fork? I think it would be much more left, you know.
Yeah, I
Much more
mean,
leftovers.
I think it's weird in this game when they don't use chopsticks. I don't know if that's racist or not.
Yeah.
But like, I just assume that Asian people only use chopsticks to eat. But I watched this Chinese movie the other day and they're eating with forks and it literally blew my mind.
What?
I'm like, what the hell?
They don't do that.
It was
All right,
crazy.
so what do you think about this case?
You know, I think it did what the last two cases did. It was like just very like, it had like the twists and turns, but it didn't feel like, I just felt like in other cases in the past in other games, it was like, oh, here's a twist just for the sake of a twist. And it was just like, let's back this up. Let's have someone hold it here. This one is like more linear, like let's keep going. Let's keep this train on the tracks. So it kind of stayed with that.
Yeah, they do really like hold it's doing like the end of trials. I think there's gonna be a lot more doing like later cases because you know it's the final cases.
It's
so
more intense.
Yeah, it's more intense.
But that's what would be annoying with other games. Be like, oh my god, first, second, third case. It's like you're doing too much. I felt like they were like doing too much for just like the first three. Like last one, I'm here for it. But like this is like, you know, a little bit of breather.
So overall, did you like this case?
Yeah.
Okay. The general you know, general consensus of this case is that it's basically like 50-50. Like a lot of people hate it and a lot of people love it. I
don't love it.
I think that the people that hate it is because of all the maid stuff, but that's Japanese culture, and I mean like Japanese people have maid cafes and stuff like that. There's going to be a case taking place in a maid cafe. It's like such a important part of the culture that they kind of don't have to, they kind of have to do that, you know? I mean, like...
Yeah, I mean, I guess if I had... I mean, it doesn't matter too much, but, like, there was some things. It was, like, kind of eyebrow-raising. Like, everything with Armstrong, it felt like maybe, like, insensitive a bit. Because they're like, what? He's like a woman? He's feminine? What the hell?
Well, that's more like 2004.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
it's 2004, so I'm not upset about it, but I could see people not liking it for that.
They do
stuff.
They do something like somebody being like, you know, switching genders and stuff like that in a later game, and I think they really do that quite well.
Okay.
Yeah. But that game came out in 20. It was the one in 2013, my bad. Yeah. The one in 2013, they really do a good job with that. But, you know, it's 2004, especially in Japan.
Oh, yeah. No, yeah, I don't think it needs to be defended. Like, it can be defended by its time.
Yeah.
Like, it's just...
Yeah.
But I could see people, like... It definitely feels, like, weird playing it now. I'm like, what? This is not aged well, but, like, I don't know, it doesn't bother me that much.
So, like... Yeah, you were like, whenever like Maya and Mia were in like the maid costumes, you're like, "Whoa, this is fucking graphic." But I'm like, it's not even fucking close. This is like the most tame thing that they could have possibly done. Like a majority because the Japanese media really does like sexualizing women, and it's just like that's just part of their culture. That's just like how they do stuff. It's very much not okay here in America, but in Japan. They're more okay with it. It's like the sexuality is more like I don't know, public, if that makes sense, compared to here in America, you know. So like, yeah, Japanese people would like the female pop stars, J-pop stars, will like, yeah, they would flash their tits and stuff like that. But
wait, what, for real?
Not fully, but like have like
well, I mean, they do that in America,
revealing outfits. Well, like, but it's more common. It's more like okay.
It's not as taboo.
Yeah, it's not as taboo. Yeah, as like, you know, Nicki Minaj and, you know, the chicken ass.
I just think it's weird that this is like a kids game, and like
this is rated T.
Okay, I guess, yeah. Still, it's just kind of I mean, I'm used to it now, and like I know like some anime, it's way worse.
I mean, like kid shows. In anime like Dragon Ball do that stuff a lot.
Oh yeah, I don't like it, but like it doesn't make me like view it lesser. But it's like I don't like it.
It's just
because I don't like sexualizing women. Like it's just like I don't like. It's like I don't like.
I think of it in the context of within the culture that it comes from.
Yeah, I just wonder if
because like
women really think it's okay.
I mean, like the film Wild Girls, I think that's what it's called. You know, like it's an American film, and it completely just like
Dreamgirls.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking of. Yeah. So like, because it's an American film, and then they're just like, yeah, strippers and stuff like that, and it's like, come on, dude, like this is kind of like overdone. However, if like Japan does that, people will be like, "Oh, that's just Japan doing the Japanese stuff," you know, that type of thing. But
it's just weird. Like I don't know. It's hard for me to imagine that all the women in that culture just think it's okay. Like they celebrate it. Like that's hard for me to believe.
They have penis festivals in Japan. You know that?
Penis festivals?
They have penis festivals.
What the hell is that?
They celebrate the penis. They have a giant statue of a penis and they carry it around.
The fuck?
They have penis festivals in Japan.
Wow, that's weird, man.
Yeah, see? You think that it's weird, but it's completely normal to their culture. They think that there's like a penis museum in Tokyo or something like that. Like statues of penises. Not rather instead of the.
But in this game,
why
is Phoenix not sexualized at all in this game, or any other men?
All the men are drawn within a yaoi art style. With like broad shoulders and like very small heads.
I guess that's true.
Yeah.
But it's like, it's not exactly the same.
Well, it is practically the same. But yaoi comics are for like women fantasizing about men. And the drawings are loosely similar to yaoi drawings.
Yeah.
I would know.
Jesus Christ. All right.
But my thoughts on that this case, I really liked the thing that's different about Trials and Tribulations is the plan, the murder plan. I think all of them are very creative, except for maybe the first one, but that's the first case. Don't worry about that. You know, look at me blackmailing the blackmailer, that type of thing. And then with this case, Furio Tigre doing the entire murder scene again just to get a witness.
Yeah, the other games, it felt like they were just like throwing shit at the wall. Like, let's make this as interesting as possible, just like throwing random shit. This feels like more thought out, and a better payoff. I think Shutakami, because like, Justice Fall came out in 2002, which was 1 year after the first game. So, and then this came out in 2004, so that means that Shutakami had much more time to think about this entire game. But in the next episode, we're gonna go to Turnabout Beginnings. How does that mean?
It means Turnabout Beginnings. It's the beginning. What does beginning mean? It means
like he's a kid.
We're gonna do the class trial for
the
class
first game.
Trial,
yeah.
Okay, we're gonna go there in the next episode. Goodbye, everybody.
Make sure to like, subscribe, comment below, and hit that bell so you can be notified every time we release videos every single day. Bye bye.